Hello, replay viewers. Thank you so much for coming to New Teacher Talk Wednesdays. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Sorry, my first broadcast, I don't know what was going on. I'm hoping that my notifications won't go off like crazy, so we'll see. Welcome, come on in. If you could, tap the Perry Buddy and invite people who are either they're new to teaching, they could be veteran teachers and they would like to join us. They can be in school to become a teacher. Anybody is welcome in here. So go ahead and share out if you could, please. Thank you. Welcome to New Teacher Talk Wednesdays. Thank you so much for the hearts. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So if you could just keep inviting followers in here. I'll start. I always try to remember to introduce myself first. Hello, welcome. Thank you for coming. This is hopefully going to be my time slot. It'll be 5 o'clock Arizona time. So where that equates to wherever you are. Hello, thanks for joining. This is the time slot that I'm aiming for. So, welcome to everybody that's in here, and I hope people continue to share out and come on in. My name is Rochelle. I'm a first grade teacher in Arizona. I've been teaching for 4 years, and a couple months ago, I was, just so you know, my little journey to this point, and to show that you too can do this if you want. I'm in a group on the Teacher Blab show, and I was feeling like everybody kind of had a thing. I'm in a show with Farrah Shipley from Miss Shipley's Classroom, and so her thing was whole brain teaching, and she was the expert there. I'm with Misty Savario from Crazy About Teaching Crazy with a K, and hers is tech. And then Julie Gustin from Southern Teacher's Tales, and she was like kind of comedy and laid back, and I'm like, what's my thing? And so after a few months about thinking about it, I'm like, I want to be that teacher that can come on and be the person that can talk about what it's like to be a new teacher and discuss strategies and things that I've gone through. So that is how New Teacher Talk Wednesdays was born. So just because you're a newer teacher doesn't mean that you couldn't get involved with Periscope and all this social media. You totally can. You just have to find something that you're good at, something that you feel that you could bring to the table that could help others. And I felt that the thing that I could bring was tips for new teachers, or we can simply just talk about what's on your mind, what's going on, what are some of your struggles, what are some of your triumphs, and we can discuss it. And hopefully we can continue to grow together as a little group of new teachers, or a group of new teachers and some veterans. That would be great. So that's my little journey of how I got to this point. So I'm going on about a month and a half now of consistently coming on Wednesdays, whether I was late or on time or a little bit early. But I've been really good about coming on Wednesdays and being there for all of you. So my next new goal is to ask you, and you can tell me on Facebook if you have me on Facebook, and we'll talk about that too. If you want to turn this into a little blab, instead of doing New Teacher Talk Wednesdays on Periscope, we can do New Teacher Talk Wednesdays on a blab, and it's middle of the week. I get that. So we can make it like a 20-minute blab. It'll be a quick one. We can jump into the squares. We can discuss things that are going on our mind. We can do Q&As. We can, brainstorm together. And if new teachers are interested in that, I'm totally down for doing New Teacher Talk Wednesdays on blabs on Wednesday afternoons. So just let me know if you want to do that, and that way it'll be a little bit more interactive rather than just sticking around in the comments. we can do it on Blab, and that way you can pop into the boxes, you can ask your questions, you can pop in if you have a solution, you can pop in if you've had the same experience and to share, so then we can lift each other up. So that's something that I've been I mentioned, I want to say last week, about doing New Teacher Talk Wednesdays and moving it from Periscope into the Blab world. So I'll leave it up to you guys, because this is all about you and us learning together. And so if Blab would be a better platform for us, then we'll move there. So just some thoughts. And so let me know. You can find me, if you type in Rochelle Roth on Facebook, you can find my classroom Facebook page, and you can leave me some comments or some messages about what you're thinking as well. So anyway, on to New Teacher Talk. My tip today is, and it's still something that 4 years later I'm still struggling with a little bit, and I feel like it's very common to feel this way, is don't be so hard on yourself if you don't see immediate results on something that you're working hard on. My example is my first year of teaching. I had this little boy, and he struggled. I mean, he was well below grade level, and because he was well below grade level, he felt like he was falling behind, and then his behavior issues were getting a lot more severe. He was also in speech, so he was very difficult to understand. And he was a retention as well. So he was retained in kindergarten. So he did 2 years in kindergarten, and then I got him in first. And he really struggled, and he would get frustrated because kids couldn't understand what he was saying because of his speech. To give you an example of where he was at in his speech development, if you asked him what his favorite food was, he'll say that they were chin nuts. They were chin nuts, and that was chicken nuggets. So that's where he was in his speech, and as far as his reading, he was. I know, it's right there. I don't know what it is. It's not on my pictures. It's not on anything. It's on Periscope. It's right there. I'll lick it today. So that's where he was in his speech. In terms of his reading, he was a beginning kindergartner. He didn't know a lot of his letter sounds, his vowel sounds. He couldn't read simple CVC words. He couldn't read just like phonograms. I mean, he was taken back to the basics. When it comes to his math, he knew simple addition, and even then he really struggled. So toward like December, January, I was getting so frustrated that I could not change this child's world. I was like, I am doing everything with this little boy. I'm sitting down one-on-one. I'm working with him one-on-one. I was spending time with him during recess, and I was talking to him because his home life was rough for this little guy. And so come December and January, I was beating myself up that I could not change him. I couldn't get him to read any better. I couldn't get him to add any better. I mean, I felt like I was failing. And looking back at that now, it's not that I was failing, it's where he was at in his learning journey. And he was severely delayed. And but I was beating myself up over it because I felt like I'm his teacher. Why aren't I changing everything for him and making life easier? What more can I do? And I researched. I was on Pinterest. I was on Teachers Pay Teachers. I was on Google. I was on any search engine that could possibly give me anything that would help this little boy. I was researching it. And it was every single effort that I did for this little guy, it just wasn't making a difference to him. And I was having a hard time forgiving myself that I couldn't help him. But in second grade, when he moved on and I continued to follow him in the mentor program, and the hugs that I got, I changed him. I helped him. And you have to understand that you may not see a change academically, or if you do, it'll be small changes with kids that are behavior issues, or they're kids that have learning disabilities. And you might not see results right away, but give it time, because you will see that you made a difference in that child's world, in their heart, in their mind. It won't be immediate, and you have to be okay with that. So that's my lesson for you today, is don't be hard on yourself and beat yourself up when you don't see immediate results. Sometimes things don't click for your little kids, your little kiddos that are struggling. Sometimes it just doesn't click, and it's totally developmental. They could be having obstacles that they're jumping through. You don't know what's going on in their head as you're teaching it. It'll happen, and it may not happen your year, but understand that you helped be a part of their foundation. And so your foundation that you built is going to help them in their next year. And maybe it'll click their next year. And don't feel like, oh, well, that teacher's probably a better teacher because it clicked for them in their grade level. It's not about that. It's about you were a part of their journey. You were a part of their foundation, and because of you and all the efforts that you made your year, helped them understand the next year. It had nothing to do with your lack of effort. There's nothing more you could have done. If you really said, I tried my best with each and every one of my littles the year that I had them, then you've done your job. And you'll see it the next year when they come and give you those big old bear hugs, and they say how much they miss you and they want to be with you again. You changed their life. You made an imprint on their heart. And so that's my lesson for you today. Yeah, and there will always be parents like that. His mom was just like that. His mom and I we were not on the same page. There was a lot of conflict. As long as you're doing everything that you can, from the hours of school starting to the hug at the end of the day, that's all you can do. You can't change home life. You can't change a parent's mind. All you can do is suggest the best, do the best you can within the hours that you have this child, and just be there for them. And don't be hard on yourself if you don't see immediate change, or maybe not change during the year that you have that child. But you were a part of their foundation, and it's going to happen. So that's my tip for you today. It was a little bit more on the serious side because it's something that I was frustrated with this year with a behavior issue, and I was getting really frustrated, and I was starting to beat myself up on why can't I change this child's heart and make them want to be a part of our class and want them to follow the rules and want them to be happy doing the games and activities that we're doing. Why aren't I doing this? And so I kind of had to take myself back and say, it's not me. She could be doing everything that she possibly can as a 6 or a 7-year-old. And I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know what's going on in her head. You only know what's going on in the hours that you have this baby girl or that little baby boy in your class, and you can only do so much. And so as long as I'm trying my best, that's all I can do. So that's my tip for you today. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't see immediate results, whether it's in academics, whether it's in behavior, anything. Just know that you're making a difference step by step, day by day. And eventually those results will happen. If it's not in your year, it could be in the next year. It could be 2 years down the road. You were a part of that foundation, though. Don't think that you were any less of a teacher because the teacher next door in the grade level above you, finally, the light bulb finally came on for that student. They totally understand place value, but you were beating your head against the wall trying to get that child to understand what a 10 is and what a 1 is. And then that's what I'm dealing with right now with one of my littles. It just does not understand 10s and 1s to save her life. And you know what? She might go to 2nd grade and it might just click. She might just get it. And I know that I helped really build that foundation to help her be like, oh my gosh, I just get it. And it may not happen my year. It might happen next year. And you know what? Good for her. I was a part of that journey. I was a part of that foundation that really helped her, because if I didn't help her at all this year with place value, she would probably still be struggling. So don't take any less credit. You were a part of it. Trust what you do. Do the best you can. And if you don't see results, don't beat yourself up over it. Okay? Just always do the best you can. Okay. So that's my tip for you today. Did anyone have any questions? It's been super quiet. I don't know if 5 o'clock was a good time slot. Is later on better or is earlier better? I don't know. I thought 5 o'clock my time was good because it would be 6 o'clock Central. 6, 7, 8. Would it be 8 o'clock Eastern? 9 o'clock Eastern? So it's not too late. It was like right when the kids go to bed if you have kids. I don't know. Okay, well, 7. Okay, so I thought that was a pretty good time frame to catch everybody. I wanted to catch people when they weren't at work. And so I didn't want to go too early for all the West Coasters in Arizona, because if I go earlier, I'm pushing into their kind of work hours. And I thought a lot of people would be going home around 5 o'clock. So I was trying to do it late enough for them to go home from work and be able to like actually tune in and watch and not be conflicting with anything going on with them. I guess they could watch the replay though. I don't know. Okay, well, don't be hard on yourself with those students. Just trust that you're doing everything that you can for those littles and just care about them. The kids that are struggling, that are the behavior issues, are the ones that you need to love and even more. And the ones that you need to hug even more throughout the day and give them a high five and a good job. And they're the ones that need that extra support. So all you can do is just be there. And if you can't change their behavior your year and make it positive, just know that if it changes next year, you were a part of that journey. You were a part of that change in their heart, that they wanted to be that role model. They really wanted to change and work with as a team and be a part. So, yeah, so let me know. So find me on Facebook. My classroom Facebook page will have it's my old button now. We'll be talking about it tomorrow on Teacher Blab Show, evening hours. So tomorrow night, I'll be talking about, I'm rebranding. I will no longer be Juice Boxes and Crayons come pretty soon. But I still have my classroom Facebook page that will remain my Juice Boxes and Crayons logo, because all of my families from my classroom, all of my kiddos, they all know me as Juice Boxes and Crayons. So in terms of my Facebook page, it will remain Juice Boxes and Crayons for the remainder of the school year, but come the summer, I will rebrand my Facebook page. I will have a new Facebook page, but like my pictures and the stuff that I'm doing will go on my old Facebook page. I'm making a business Facebook page with my new logo, my new brand will be new, and I'll let you know on Thursday, and I'll let you know next week how to find me and add me to that page. And then, but all of my handles are changing. My Periscope handle will be changing. That New Teacher Talk Wednesdays will be on. My Twitter handle will be changing. My email, everything, the whole 9 will be changing to fit my new brand. So stay tuned for that. That will be on tomorrow. Tomorrow night we're going to talk about my brand change. So that way you can find all of my new stuff. And hopefully you'll find me there, because New Teacher Talk Wednesdays will be switching to that new brand. My new handle that I'm following. So that way all of my handles match. Yay! So I won't be Shelbs on one handle and Juice Box and Crayons on another handle, and then my RN Roth on another handle. They're all going to match, which is nice. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for being here and being supportive, and I love all of you. Yes, it's right there. We know it's there. If you saw my New Teacher Talk Wednesdays like 3 weeks ago, you saw the stupidness of me playing with this dot. I was putting it in my nose during the whole scope and in my eye and in my hair and my mouth because it was bugging me and I didn't know if you could see it until the end of the black. No, it's always there. The blue dot right here, it's bigger than it used to be. It's growing. Pretty soon it'll be the size of my face. But yeah, it's right here. There's two now? Shut the front door. Oh my gosh, there's one right here, isn't there? There's two blue dots now. How maddening is this? There is. There's one right here. Oh, you can see it on my shirt. And there's one like further up here. Oh my gosh, how maddening is this right now? It's right here. Fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, well, say hello to my little friend. Should we name him? So then we all have a name? I don't know what this one's doing. This one's new. Should we name him? Okay, let's totally name him. What should this blue dot be named? So then at least we got a name for him. We can say hello every time I come on Periscope. Winston! Love it. So say hello to Winston. This is Winston the blue dot. Hi, Winston. He will be joining me on my blab. This one, this new one that comes in and out of the picture, is a random one. But this big giant one in the middle of my screen is Winston. Hi, Winston. All right. Thanks for the randomness. Oh, see? There, right there. Really, it's been in the past few ones, but this is the biggest it's ever been. Winston. So, again, randomness. I can't just end it on, like, my really good power thought. I have to end it with a little bit of, I guess, myself. This is totally like my personality right here. It's like squirrel, this blue dot. That's okay. It brings out the funny, like the goofy side of me that I try to hold it back and be serious on New Teacher Talk Wednesdays, and it totally brings out that side of me. Pinching Winston. So, this is me in a nutshell. I'm very, like, ADD with this little squirrel and my blue dot Winston. So yeah, tune in tomorrow night for all the changes that are going on with my handles on all social media. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for those of you that are just like, they're always here to support me and all of us every Wednesday. Honestly, I wouldn't be here if you weren't here, because I feel like if I'm helping at least one person, I made a difference. And so you should feel the same with your comments. If you put out a comment of something that you've done in the past, it could change somebody else's life in their classroom because they tried your suggestion. So be proud of that, and be proud of that you're making a difference in somebody's life. Even if it's one person or 100 people, you make a difference to other people, other adults in this profession. You make a difference to your kids every single day. So love them, and don't be hard on yourself. Okay, you're human, and you can only do so much in a year with these littles. So even if you don't see change, just a quick recap, if you don't see change the year that you have them, if you don't see change right away, don't think it reflects poorly on you. You were a part of that journey. So if, like my example, if my little girl, I'm feeling she's leaving me without place value going into second grade. But you know what? Second grade in September, she could totally click, and place value, she just gets it. And I don't feel like it reflects poorly on me. I was a part of that journey for her. And she just needed to grow a little bit more and develop a little bit more, and it could totally be developmental. So don't feel like there's more that you could have done. If you're doing everything you possibly can to help these littles, then that's all you can do. You're human. So just do the best you can with your kids. Thank you for joining me and Winston. And we will see you every time I come on Periscope, Winston and I, and random new guy. Join us tomorrow for Teacher Talk Thursdays and Saturday morning at, oh my goodness, what time? 9 o'clock my time, so 10 o'clock Central for Teacher Blab Show with our guest. Oh my gosh, we're going to be doing, oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank. Interactive notebooks, which is super exciting. Interactive notebooks are becoming a big thing, a big staple in a lot of teachers' classrooms. So join us Saturday morning, and hopefully you'll catch us tomorrow night when we talk about my new handle, but I'll pop on in case you missed it, and I'll tell you all of my new handles so you can follow me. So you have a wonderful Wednesday evening halfway through the week, and have a great rest of your week. And I will catch you on either Thursday night, Saturday morning, or next Wednesday for new Teacher Talk Wednesdays.